Hello everybody, my name is Solus Convoy, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Legacy Core Class Bombburst. This is one of the Legacy Core Class releases, and since I just took a look at Core Class Rat Trap from Takara's Beast Wars Again toy line, I'd figure I'd take a look at this guy. I've had him for a while and I just haven't had time to review it, which is kind of a shame because Core is, I guess, official Legends class, or it was before it died. Rest in pieces. So let's get right into it. So right off the bat, this is a modernized take on G1 Bombburst. It hybridizes the inner robot and the Pretender shell. Bombburst was one of the G1 Pretenders, which meant it was like a small, simple robot that turned into like a Cybertronian object that you could put inside a organic-looking Pretender shell, which in Bombburst's case was this vampire bat monster thing. Now here he is in all of his glory. He's got these kind of stocky and stout proportions. I'm not really a fan of how the torso just abruptly ends from this block, and then that becomes like his crotch area. I wish it was like a contour or something. It's just very abrupt right there, but the limbs are nice and stocky. I do like how he has unique shaping for all of his limbs, the thighs. There's some nice contours to the shape of the calves, even if it's kind of simplistic. The forearms have a little bit of shaping. They are kind of let down by these panels on the back, but it's understandable. And honestly, the head sculpt, let me zoom in. The head sculpt, I would say, is one of the better parts of this release. He's got these nice golden painted eyes, which really pop out. He's got some blue paint on his ears. And those teeth are actually painted white with some red paint on the inside of his mouth. So very well done. A little bit of red, picked out on the forearm, on the torso, there's a lot of red, and then some gray paint throughout. But that's pretty much it for the paint budget for this guy. Honestly, not bad for a Core, and even if I did say he is stocky, he still strikes a nice look. One thing I will say is there's a backpack here, and while the size is perfectly acceptable and I kind of like the shaping, it doesn't tab in at all, which is really kind of a shame, to be honest. It just kind of flops around incessantly. This hinge clicks into place. This one has no locking mechanism. Not great, and unfortunately a problem that will come back to haunt us later. In terms of articulation, the head is on a swivel and can get about 45 degrees each way. Acceptable. Would have been awesome if there's a ball joint here. Shoulders are ball jointed, which gives you 360 around, except not really. We'll talk about that later. There's a little bump here which blocks the articulation partially. You can get out to almost 90 degrees, and then you do have a universal ball jointed elbow, which serves as a bicep swivel. Nothing at the wrists. Unrestricted 360 waist. You can get a pretty good kick 90 degrees up, and then if you mess with the torso, you can go a lot further, so that's nice. You have 90 degrees at the knee, and then the knee ball joint does serve as a thigh swivel simply because of the shaping. So pretty good so far, and this is where he gets kind of great. You have a dedicated ankle tilt on this hinge, which can get you a little bit even out and a full 90 degrees inside. And then because of the design of the foot, you can get, some forward, a lot backward. So really nice articulation for a Core class figure, on par with basically any modern day deluxe, I would say. The problem we'll get into with this little, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me try to zoom in. There's a little nub right there that kind of restricts the shoulder articulation, and unfortunately it has a different function which it also fails at. So we'll talk about that in a second. I do like these talon motifs coming over his torso. That does look very nice. It's a shame they're interrupted by these tab holes right here. Visually and articulation wise, really fun Core class figure, but that's not all there is to the package. In terms of accessories, he has these like wing blasters, which you can remove. Looks ugly though, and then you can kind of tab them in. He doesn't hold them that well, but they are nice melee weapon options. His main accessory though, since these are needed for both modes, for his silhouette and for his transformation, is this really diminutive battle axe. The sculpting is kind of cool, but it's really small, even for a core class figure. I'm not sure why it's not like bigger. I think they could have easily made it bigger, but I mean, it wouldn't change the parts count at all to make this slightly bigger, but whatever. And that's it for accessories. And then let's get in some, okay. So you can see like this just flops constantly, and I had to tighten these ball joints that make up his legs, and they're still not the most solid. So unfortunately, sometimes the fun handle experience goes away. Little comparison with my last review, Core Class Rat Trap, and a Deluxe Class figure, which is going to be a collaboration Bone Shaker. It's Deluxe Class. So our little friend here stands right under 3 inches to the top of his ears. So you can already see, comparing it with Rat Trap, while these are from very different aesthetics, Rat Trap doesn't have that whole like box motif going on. The torso actually contours down. And I get it, this is a very different design style and a different universe and whatever, but I really just don't like how the chest terminates entirely. And then it's like, boom, waist piece. It feels kind of amateurish, I guess. And that's visual design that wouldn't really be impacted by the engineering this guy needs. Speaking of engineering, I'm just going to blaze right into the transformation. So what you're going to want to do is you want the head flat. You're going to take this piece and you're just going to bring it on this double hinge down there. I really like how the ears tuck in. It's a nice touch. You want to flip these 180. You want to take his waist, rotate it around, fold up the feet and straighten them out. So fold up the toes and the rear of the toes. Then you just take the feet on the legs and whatever, and you just pop them into those tab holes we talked about on his torso. So even though they interrupt that detail, they do serve a purpose. And I think it's nice how they kind of designed it that the feet cover up most of the face, and they kind of like account for the space of each other, and that's pretty nice. And then the arms, remember that nub we mentioned before, that annoying nub which blocks the shoulder articulation? They're supposed to click onto that nub to hold them in place, and this is your finished result. But there's no connection holding the arms in place, which is just like unbelievable. They just expect you to just leave the arms like that, and under any form of play where these come under any touch, they just flop incessantly. The joints are not tight enough to support this, and there's literally 0 tabs. Like, yeah, sure, you could argue this nub right here, but this is not a secure connection whatsoever. This is literally just for the point of like kind of guiding this into place. There absolutely should have been a tab right here on his thigh to lock his forearm in. I don't know what they were thinking with this. And it's a shame because this is a really cute little Cybertronian vertical takeoff landing craft. I assume that's why it has these turbines, so it can, you know, take up vertically. And like it's cute and it's fun, and it's honestly pretty swooshable, you know. Like I have fun messing with it, but then the second, like even when I'm not even trying to, if I'm just holding it from the solid torso, which is really solid now, this is even solid. Well, not really, this wobbles too. But the second a finger even lightly, you know, even like, this is not very strong, like even that will just completely destroy the silhouette of the alternate mode. It's really a shame. Shame though, transformation's really fun and clicky outside of the arms. So I guess that, you know, I mean, the shaping again is cool and stuff. And I don't know if there's any storage for the Energon axe or battle axe in this mode. I think you could just stuff it right there, I guess. That looks terrible, but whatever. But yeah, I guess I can kind of get into my final thoughts. First off, I mean, credit where credit is due. It's a great hybridization of the Pretender core robot and the Pretender shell. Definitely much more successful than Legacy Deluxe Skullgrin, and I honestly think this one handles it better than Iguanas, but up to you guys to decide. Visually, it's all subjective. I do like the proportions for the most part, outside of where the torso doesn't really taper, it just cuts off into his waist. He's fun and stocky, and like it kind of invites you to mess with him. I almost like the alt mode too. I just think in both modes, it's kind of unforgivable how his arms don't tab in alternate mode and how the backpack refuses to stay tabbed into place in robot mode. This is like fundamental, like first steps of designing a transformer stuff that can't be forgotten, and they turn what could have been one of the best core class figures into like a still pretty fun release, simply because of how like crazy posable it is for a core and how cool the visual design is. But they really hold this guy back, and I think that's a shame. That being said, he's still a fun time and he's still pretty cool. Rat Trap was obviously way more impressive, and it's a shame this guy comes up short on such really avoidable obstacles. They're not big or pressing issues that were like crucial to his engineering. It was literally just adding a tabbing mechanism for his backpack and a tabbing mechanism for his arms. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. I'm having fun with this core class retrospective, I guess. I'm very late to these. I have something else coming in the future with core class as well, so look forward to that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Souls Convoy, peace out.